Hi guys, it's Stephanie again with the Missoula County Weed District here on part 1 of the Leave No Weeds program. Again, if you can see my email down below, right there, write down any questions you might have, send them my way, and we'll answer them through video. Maybe I'll figure out how to do a live stream. Who knows? Times are new. We've got to come together online. So let's jump right in and do the Leave No Weeds program. During this program, we're going to talk about a lot of terms that you probably all have been learning about in school, and those are some biological concepts. A main one that we're going to talk about is habitat and ecosystems and biodiversity. They are all relevant when we talk about the Leave No Weeds program. Here's a slide with a fun picture. I think it's fun. I hope all of you have been able to experience a place like this. Okay, what I'm wanting you to look at and figure out in this picture is some living things that would perhaps occur at this special place. Okay, so since I don't have any of you to tell me, I'm going to go ahead and point some things that I think would be occurring at this place. And I'm going to start with plants. Okay, when I look at this picture, I can tell there's a ton of grasses, there are trees everywhere. We have maybe some reeds. I hope there's some native flowers there. It looks like it might be the fall, so maybe a lot of those flowers have already bloomed and gone to sleep, but I see a lot of plant life. Okay, another something I see, a living thing that would be happening here, would be something that's utilizing that big beaver dam in the water, and that would be a beaver. So I could move on to animals because they're a living thing. And of course, there'll probably be some deer here, elk perhaps, bear, lots of different birds, lots of different insects. So when I look at this picture, I think this place can support a lot of different living things. And what we call that place where a plant or an animal can live is a habitat. So let's look at that same picture. Unbelievable. I'm going to have to learn proper etiquette for doing video recording. One would be not to have your phone sound on. Bad, Stephanie. Back from the phone mishap. All right, here's that same picture. And what I want to know is some non-living things that would be occurring in this photo. And to help me out today, I've asked my 5th grade son, Sloan, to point out some of the non-living things that would be occurring here, son.
Oh, okay. Rocks, air, water, sticks, all those things.
Thank you, son. Are those non-living things important?
Yes.
They are. Thank you for participating. So because we have those non-living and the living things all in the same area, which is important because they rely on one another, it is called an ecosystem. We have many different types of habitats. And this one pictured on the left is a forest habitat. This one pictured here, I would call a wetland or a riparian ecosystem or habitat, excuse me. And we also have prairie ecosystems. And we are so lucky to live where we do because we are able to access every one of these different types of habitats within about 5 minutes of our own homes. And I hope you are taking advantage of your time away from school and getting out to these habitats and exploring them. And that will make it so much better when I deliver this message for you so that you can learn to appreciate them and protect them, these habitats. Excuse me. Here's the next picture I want to show you, and this picture is taken on the North Hills of Missoula. So that would basically be, if some of you are familiar with Waterworks Hill or where the peace sign was, that is the North Hills. And this is directly behind that public area called Waterworks Hill. And this picture was taken back in about 1974. And I consider this a healthy plant community. So why do I consider it a healthy plant community? What would scream healthy plant community to you guys? Well, what's the first thing that jumps out at you? I hope you're not saying that gentleman standing there. Yes, he stands out. But what is he standing in? A beautiful field of wildflowers. I bet some of you can even mention in an email to me what you think some of those are. And we could do your first guess would be the purple one. Your second guess could be that yellow one. And your third guess could be the red one. So send me an email and tell me what you think those are. And I'll let you know if you're right. And I'll tell you what the right ones are when you email me. But I consider this a healthy plant community because there's so many different types of plants in that given area. We have a ton of different wildflowers. We have a ton of different grasses. And that's what makes it a healthy plant community. And when we have a ton of different plants living together in an area, we say it's very biodiverse. Okay, so bio means life and diverse means many different kinds. So this is a diverse plant community. So it is thick with biodiversity, and that's what makes it a healthy plant community. And if you're like me, you enjoy going places that have healthy plant communities because it's super fun to be in an area where there's a ton of different plants growing, something to catch your eye everywhere you look. So biodiversity. What benefits are there to having a biodiverse plant community? Well, for one, it makes me a happier person. Maybe you too. I love it when I see a ton of different plants and especially native flowers. So I benefit from biodiversity. I moved forward too quickly. Besides me benefiting by making me a pleasant person to healthy plant communities, what else do you guys think would benefit from this? And when I look at this and I see pretty flowers, something that jumps to my mind is pollinators, right? That could be insects or birds. It could be butterflies, it could be moths, right? So our pollinators are going to benefit from a healthy plant community full of biodiversity. Along with the pollinators, we need to think about our wildlife. Okay, our wildlife definitely is going to benefit from these healthy plant communities. And we're going to learn about a couple other things that you maybe aren't thinking about that would benefit from healthy plant communities and the biodiversity that surrounds them. Here's that same picture again. Remember I said it was of the North Hills on the left there? And that was back in 1974. And the picture on the right is of me in that very same area. If you look close, you can tell in the background, those trees match up. And that picture of me was taken in about 2010, I believe. What do you notice is the big difference? What screams, oh my goodness, there's such a big difference? What's that word we just learned about? What makes it a healthy plant community? Biodiversity, right? The biodiversity is missing from this picture that I'm in, okay? And that's roughly about 40 years to go from the left being a healthy plant community with a ton of biodiversity to this right-hand picture, which is not very biodiverse at all. It's not a very healthy plant community. When I look at it, I mostly can see a handful of grasses, and then those brown sticky things are remnants of what's caused that biodiversity to disappear. And that is weeds. And we're going to learn about weeds in the next section of this Leave No Weeds program. So we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. Send me those emails. Bye.